On a massive alien-human alliance warship, alarms stay silent. A high-ranking alien woman, calm and proud, walks through the wrong corridor. A single door slides open by mistake. Inside is a human pilot's private room, restricted to humans only. The door locks behind her. Why does the ship suddenly treat her like a threat, and why does the room not? First contact in silence. The human pilot, Captain Aaron Cole, enters his room and freezes. The alien woman does not attack. She watches him closely. The ship's AI fails to unlock the door. Security systems hesitate, confused by human DNA override. Humans are known as unpredictable and dangerous. Aliens believe humans hide their true power. The alien woman's fear. From her point of view, humans are called void survivors. They come from a dead galaxy zone. No one knows how they survived. She expects violence, but Aaron does not attack. No alarm sounded. Welcome to my channel Starlight Sci-Fi Stories. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. That was the first strange thing. On the massive Alliance warship Unity of Stars, even the smallest mistake usually triggered warnings, lights, or automated voices. But when the tall alien woman walked down the wrong corridor, the ship stayed silent, as if it was holding its breath. Her name was Saris Talvina. She was not a low-rank alien. She was a cultural envoy from the Valar Dominion, a species known for discipline, pride, and strict rules. Saris had walked these halls many times before, always guided, always watched. Humans did not allow alien guests to wander freely. But this time she was alone. The corridor looked empty. The walls were darker here, made of dull metal instead of glowing crystal. Symbols on the doors were not written in any known alien language. They were human markings. Sarah slowed her steps. She knew this section was restricted. Human only. She turned to leave, but the door beside her slid open. Automatically. Smooth, silent. Before she could react, the floor beneath her feet shifted. A soft force pulled her forward, gentle but strong. She stumbled inside and the door slid shut behind her. Locked. The air changed instantly. It felt warmer, thicker, real. Sarah spun around, her heart beating fast. Her hand moved toward the small defense blade at her side, but she stopped herself. The room was quiet. No weapons activated. No alarms screamed. She was inside a human pilot's private quarters. A place no alien was ever meant to enter. The room was small, simple, and strangely personal. A narrow bed, a metal table, a chair bolted to the floor. The walls were covered with pictures, flat images of people, planets, old ships. None of them were marked as trophies. None showed power or dominance. They showed memories. Sarah felt a strange pressure in her chest. Human quarters were rumored to be dangerous. Some aliens believed humans filled their rooms with hidden weapons, traps, or psychological tricks. Others believed entering such a space without permission could cause violent reactions from the human mind itself. Saris had no idea which rumor was true. She stepped back as far as the room allowed. Then she heard footsteps. Heavy, calm, slow. The door behind her made a soft sound. Unlocked. It slid open. A human stood there. He froze. For several long seconds, neither of them moved. The human was tall but not overly large. His body showed signs of strength but also exhaustion. His dark uniform was worn at the edges. A patch on his shoulder marked him as a pilot, and not just any pilot, a frontline combat pilot. His name badge read, Captain Aaron Cole. Saris had heard that name before. The human pilot who survived impossible missions. The one who returned from deep space alone. The human looked at her with clear surprise, but not anger. Not fear. Just confusion. Sarah slowly lowered her hand from her blade. "I did not intend to enter," she said carefully, speaking basic human language. The door opened. Aaron did not respond right away. Instead, he stepped fully into the room and let the door slide shut behind him. The lock clicked softly. Now they were alone. Human and alien. In a space meant for only one of them. Aaron placed a small metal case on the table. His eyes never left her. "You're not supposed to be here," he said calmly. Saris nodded. "I am aware." Another silence followed. She expected shouting. She expected threats. She expected him to call security. But he did none of those things. Instead, Aaron moved to the side of the room and sat down on the chair, slowly, carefully, as if he did not want to scare her. He exhaled. "You look like you're about to faint," he said. "Sit down." Saris blinked. That was not a command. It was concern. She hesitated, then sat on the edge of the bed, keeping distance between them. Her body felt tense, ready to react if needed. Her species had been taught one rule above all others: never trust a human's calm. Humans were called void survivors for a reason. They came from a region of space where no species should have lived. Their home system had been torn by radiation storms, gravitational fractures, and wars they barely survived. Yet somehow, they had not only lived, they had expanded. No alien truly understood how. The ship's internal systems suddenly spoke. "Warning," the AI said. "Unauthorized non-human presence detected in restricted human quarters." Sarah stiffened. Aaron raised one hand. "Override temporary." The AI paused. "Override accepted." Silence returned. Sarah stared at him. "You command the ship's systems?" she asked. "No," Aaron replied, "but humans designed this part." That answer unsettled her more than any threat. Minutes passed. Outside the room, the ship had begun to react. Security teams gathered. Alien officers argued loudly. Human command remained silent, watching. Inside the room, something strange happened. Nothing. No violence. No shouting. No fear. Aaron stood and moved toward a small wall unit. He pressed a button. A soft hum filled the air as a dispenser produced a clear container filled with water. He placed it on the table. "For you," he said. Saris did not touch it. "Why?" she asked. "Because you look like you haven't had water in a while." She studied him closely now. His eyes were tired but honest. There was no hidden anger behind them, no cold calculation. She slowly reached for the container and drank. The water was clean. Perfect. Her tension eased slightly. "This room," she said quietly, "feels different." Aaron nodded. "Yeah, it's the only place that's mine." Saris tilted her head. "Humans value ownership deeply." Aaron gave a small smile. "No, we value privacy." Outside, voices grew louder. The alien command demanded the door be opened by force. They accused the human of holding Saris hostage. Aaron ignored them. Saris listened. Her people sounded afraid. That surprised her. "You are not afraid of me," she said. Aaron shook his head. "No." "Why?" He looked around his room. "Because I've been more afraid of empty space than I am of you." She did not understand. So he told her. 3 years ago, his ship had been damaged beyond repair, lost beyond known space. No signals, no rescue, no hope. He drifted alone, surviving on failing systems and stubborn will. "I talked to the walls," he said, "to myself, to ghosts." Saris felt her breath catch. "You did not lose your mind." Aaron shrugged. "Maybe a little, but humans don't break easily, we bend." The ship suddenly shook. Not violently, but enough to remind them where they were. Outside, the situation worsened. Human Command finally spoke. "No weapons near the room," they ordered. Alien leaders were shocked. "Why?" they demanded. "Because," the human commander replied, "that room is a sanctuary." Saris looked at Aaron. "Your species grants sanctuaries, even to enemies." Aaron thought for a moment, "Sometimes especially to enemies." The door unlocked. The AI spoke softly. "Restriction lifted. Non-human presence may exit." Sarah stood. "Freedom. Safety. Return." She took one step toward the door, then stopped. She looked back at the room, at the pictures, at the tired human pilot who did not once threaten her. Outside that door were lies, politics, fear, control. Inside this room was truth. Quiet. "Joyce, I do not wish to leave," Sarah said softly. Aaron's eyes widened. Outside, chaos erupted. Inside, everything changed. The silence inside the room did not last long. Outside the human pilot's quarters, the Alliance warship Unity of Stars was no longer calm. Voices echoed through the corridor. Heavy boots struck the metal floor. Alien officers argued loudly in sharp, tense tones. Human Marines stood still, hands away from their weapons, eyes forward. Inside the room, Saris Talvina remained standing near the door. She had just refused to leave. The decision felt heavy, yet strangely right. Captain Aaron Cole slowly stood from his chair. He did not move toward her. He did not block the door. He simply faced her, his expression serious but calm. "You understand what you're doing?" he asked. Saris nodded, "Yes." "If you stay," Aaron continued, "your people will think I forced you." "They already think that," she replied. That was true. The Valar Dominion had always feared humans. They feared human silence, human patience, human refusal to react the way others did. To them, humans were dangerous not because of strength, but because they endured. Saris took a slow breath. "Out there," she said quietly, "everything is decided for me. What I say, what I believe, what I fear." She looked around the small room again. "In here, no one tells me what to be." Aaron did not answer right away. Instead, he walked to the wall panel and pressed a control. The room's internal recorder activated. A small light turned on. "If this turns ugly," he said, "I want everything recorded." Saris understood. Truth mattered to humans. Outside the door, the alien high commander's voice boomed through the corridor speakers. "Captain Cole," the voice said sharply, "you are ordered to release Envoy Talvina immediately." Aaron stepped closer to the door but did not open it. "She's free to leave," he said calmly. "She chose not to." "That is impossible," the commander replied. "No Valar would remain alone with a human." Sarah stepped forward and spoke loudly enough for the door to hear. "I am not being held," she said. "I am choosing." The corridor fell silent. For the first time, the Valar officers hesitated. They had not expected her voice. Inside the room, Aaron looked at her with quiet respect. "You just made things complicated," he said. Saris gave a small, tired smile. "My people made things complicated long before today." Minutes passed. Then the ship's AI spoke again. "Alert," it said. "Unidentified fleet detected at extreme range." The tone was different this time. "Urgent. Dangerous." Human Command reacted instantly. "Source," a human officer demanded. "Trajectory matches known extinction-class events," the AI replied. Saris felt a cold wave pass through her body. She knew that phrase. Every species in the Alliance did. Extinction-class events were not natural disasters. They were enemies. The kind that erased civilizations. The kind her people feared more than humans. The Valar commander's voice returned, no longer confident. "All ships to battle stations," he ordered. "Human units prepare defensive formation." Inside the room, Aaron moved fast. He grabbed his helmet from the table and clipped it to his suit. Saris watched him closely. "You are going to fight," she said. "Yes," Aaron replied. "That's my job." "You could leave me here," she said. He shook his head. "Not how we do things." The ship shook harder now. Far away, weapons fired. Energy beams cut through space. Alarms finally sounded, echoing through the metal halls. Saris felt fear rise in her chest, but it was different from before. Before, her fear had been about humans. Now it was about losing them. Aaron stopped at the door and looked back at her. "You should stay here," he said. "It's the safest place." She stepped forward. "I want to see." He hesitated, then nodded. They stepped into the corridor together. Every eye turned toward them. Alien officers froze in shock. Human Marines straightened. The Valor commander stared at Saris in disbelief. "You walk beside him," the commander demanded, "after what you were taught." Saris lifted her head high. "Yes," she said, "because I was taught lies." The commander opened his mouth to speak, but the ship lurched violently. A deep explosion shook the hull. The enemy had arrived. The extinction fleet appeared on the main display, dark, massive shapes moving without pattern or fear. Their ships did not signal. They did not speak. They advanced. Panic spread through the Alliance ranks. Alien ships began to fall back. Human ships did not. Aaron ran toward the hangar, Saris struggling to keep up. Humans moved with controlled speed, not panic. Their faces were focused, calm, determined. "You trust them?" Saris asked between breaths. "I trust us," Aaron replied. The hangar doors opened to reveal rows of human fighters. Old designs, heavy armor, simple weapons. Compared to alien ships, they looked outdated. Saris felt doubt. Then she saw the pilots. They climbed into their ships without hesitation. Some exchanged short nods. Others touched small symbols inside their cockpits, pictures, names, memories. They were not fearless. They were ready. Aaron stopped at his fighter, a scarred vessel marked with old battle damage and fresh repairs. "This ship should have been retired," Saris said. Aaron smiled faintly. "So should I." He climbed inside. Saris watched as the cockpit sealed. The human commander's voice echoed through the hangar. "All human units," the voice said, "we hold the line. No cheering. No dramatic words. Just purpose." The fighters launched. Space erupted into chaos. Energy blasts flashed across the void. Alien ships fired wildly, retreating under pressure. Human fighters moved in tight formations, covering each other, sacrificing position to protect allies. Saris watched from the command deck, hands clenched. She saw one human ship take a direct hit. Its shields failed, but it stayed in place, drawing enemy fire away from an alien transport. That transport escaped. Another human ship rammed an enemy vessel when its weapons failed, destroying both. Saris gasped. "They choose loss," she whispered. A Valor officer beside her shook in fear. "They are insane." "No," Saris said softly, "they are loyal." The battle dragged on. Human ships fell. But the enemy slowed. Then stopped. Then retreated. Silence returned to space. The extinction fleet vanished into the dark. The Alliance had survived. Cheers erupted across alien ships. But on the human channels, there was only quiet. Counting. Loss. Names. Aaron's fighter returned to the hangar, damaged but intact. The cockpit opened, smoke rising. He climbed out slowly, exhaustion written across his face. Saris rushed to him. "You lived," she said. "Yeah," he replied, "this time." Around them, humans tended to their wounded. They moved without complaint, without anger. They helped alien crews as quickly as their own. The Valor commander approached, his pride broken. "You saved us," he said stiffly. "Why?" Aaron wiped sweat from his face. "Because we said we would." Sarah stepped forward. "My people fear you," she said loudly, "but fear is not truth." All eyes turned to her. She activated a broadcast channel, open to every Valor ship. "I entered a human pilot's room by accident," she said. "I expected a monster. I found a survivor." Images from the battle played beside her words. Human sacrifice. Human resolve. Human choice. "They do not rule by fear," Saris continued. "They protect because they remember what it is like to be alone." Silence followed. Then understanding. Days later, repairs began. Talks resumed, but something had changed. Saris stood once more outside Aaron's quarters. "You could return home," he said. She looked at the door. "I will," she said, "one day." She turned to him. "But not yet." Aaron nodded. The door opened. She stepped inside. Not by accident this time. And